friends. Okay, so we're going to do circle time again today. We're going to do it a little different today because I don't have my helper to play the music for me. But if you remember from Tuesday, we talked about the 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. So I have some cards here, and I was hoping that you could tell me what season you thought they should go with. I have a kite. Do you know what season kites might go with? I would say that that's probably right, that we're going to put it with spring because it tends to be a little warm and a little windy sometimes in the spring. So I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to scoot back so you can see everything, so you won't be able to see me as much. Okay, let's see here. The sun. Where do you think the sun might be? Summer. Good choice. What about this scarf? Winter. Excellent. Leaves. Oh, but those are different colored leaves. Where do you think those might go? Fall or autumn. Great job. What about flowers? You're right, I think flowers might go in spring also. Sunscreen, where do you think sunscreen might go? Summer. Good. What about earmuffs? When might you wear earmuffs? When it's cold? Winter. Good job. Okay. Let's see what else I have here. Oh, a hayride. When might we take a hayride? Harvest time? And when is that? In the fall. Great job. Gardening. When might we do some gardening? I'm doing gardening at my house right now. Spring. Good. Ooh, the beach. When would we go to the beach? In the summer. Excellent. What about this hat? Looks like kind of like a beanie, doesn't it? When might we wear that? In the winter. All right. Oh, baby animals. When do we see baby animals usually? In the spring? I think you might be right. Swimming. When do we go swimming? Now, if you're taking swimming lessons, this doesn't count. But most of the time we do our swimming in the summer, don't we? What about sledding? Well, sledding is pretty hard to do without snow, so we don't do it a lot here in Texas, do we? But when do we get snow? In the winter. Good job. Oh, look at that. That little girl is raking. When would we rake up leaves into big piles to jump in? In the fall. Good job. Now this one might go in a couple of spots because the bugs are usually out a lot in the summer, but sometimes in the spring too. I think this one we're going to put in the summer though. All right, you guys did such a great job with that. I'm going to do another story for you. I'm using my felt board a lot lately so you guys can see all the fun things I have for you. So I'm going to move these things real quick. And we're going to do a couple of felt board stories. Maybe if I turn it this way. There we go. You guys can see that real good. All right. So because it's spring, I'm going to tell you the story of the adventures of Randy the Raindrop. There he is right there. Randy the Raindrop lives in a cloud. The heat from the sun made him big, strong, and proud. He got bigger. Oops. and bigger. Until one day, oh my, he fell through the floor of his house in the sky. Randy was scared. Then he saw more raindrops falling. "Hey, Randy, isn't this fun?" they were calling. Then onto a leaf. With a splash, Randy fell. And what happened next is a strange thing to tell. Randy was made up of water, you know. A part of him went to help the tree grow. The rest of him went into a puddle so round. Then the sun came out and shone on the ground. The sun warmed Randy and he started to change. He became water vapor. My, isn't that strange? Little drops of water, too tiny to see, floated into the sky. Yes, that was Randy. Randy's home once again. Was up in the cloud, in the sky. He was a raindrop once more. But then, by and by, the sun made him bigger and bigger, and then he fell through the floor of his house once again. Isn't that a funny little story about rain and what it can do? Did you know water could do all those things? All right. So right now, before I start our real story time, I wanted to share some stuff that you can do at home. So I'm going to post this up on the page for your moms and dads to print out for you. But if you can take a nature walk, maybe even in your own backyard, I have this paper for you. And you see we have a bird, and we have a tree, and we have a beetle, and some mushrooms. Those might be hard to find. And a squirrel, and a feather. Maybe a leaf. You can choose. And you get to put marks when you see these things in your yard or on your walk. Then you'll know how many you saw. Then when you get home, you're going to count them all up. And I have this nice little chart for you. And you can get some help. And so if you saw 3 birds, you would color all the way to the number 3 on this column. Right here. And let's say you saw 10 trees. So you would color all the way up to the number 10 on this column. And if you do it in different colors, you can see all the things that you saw and how many there are. All right. So now, I'm going to do one more felt board story for you guys, because I think this is a great way to tell a story. And we are going to read a book called Into the Outdoors. And Into the Outdoors is written by Susan Gao, right here. And so let's talk about the parts of our book. So, what's this part of the book called? The front cover, right. And what's this part of the book called? The back cover. Great job. And what's this part of the book called? The spine. Excellent. And what is... Oh, and what happens if you don't have a spine? You flop down like a noodle. That's right. Good job. Okay, I think I'm just about ready here. What is, not this one because it has to have a word, doesn't it? There we go. What's this part of the book called? The title page. Great job. Alrighty, so we're gonna read this book, and then I'm gonna read it a second time for you to follow along with our felt board, okay? So, Into the Outdoors. Oh, you guys didn't tell me. Who writes the book? Who writes the story? The author, correct. And who draws the pictures? The illustrator. Very good. Okay, we're going camping. Leaving the city down in the valley, we head up the mountain. We drive over a bridge and under the towering trees. At last we arrive in the great outdoors. We pitch our tent among the trees and set off along the hiking trail. The trail winds around the lake. And across a sparkling stream. We walk between some huge rocks and climb up to the very top of the mountain, but the eagle is still higher, soaring over our heads. On the way down the mountain, we pass behind a tumbling waterfall. And through a grassy meadow. When we return to camp, the sun slowly drifts behind the mountains. Stars shimmer throughout the sky while we sit around the campfire. As we climb into our tent, I think about chipmunk skipping down its hole, squirrel scampering up a tree, woodpecker settling into its nest, and porcupine snuggling inside its log, and duck tucking its bill under its wing. All the animals getting ready for bed. Alongside each other, we dream our dreams. Beside the lake and beneath the moon, outside in the great outdoors. All right, so now we're gonna do a quick retelling of this story. So I'm gonna put the book over here, and we're just gonna do it right here on this felt board. So, we're going camping. Leaving the city down in the valley, we head up the mountain. We drive over a bridge and under the towering trees. So if we drive over the bridge, where are we going? Over the bridge. And if we're under the trees, is the bridge above these trees or under them right now? It's under. Good job. At last we arrive in the great outdoors. So we pitch our tent among the trees. So let's move our trees around a little bit here. And we're gonna pitch our tent among them. That means in them. There's our tent. And we're gonna set off along the hiking trail. There's our hiking trail. The trail winds around a lake. So if the trail goes around the lake, we need to put it like this, don't we? So it goes around the lake. There we go. And across a sparkling stream. So if the trail goes across it, there's our stream. Good job. Then we walk between some huge rocks. So if we're gonna walk between them, where do we go? Do we go over here? No. Do we go over here? No. We're gonna go right in the middle. That's between. And we're gonna climb up to the very top of the mountain. So if we're going to the top of the mountain, where would we go? Way up here, right? But the eagle was still higher, soaring over our heads. On the way down the mountain, we pass behind a tumbling waterfall. So there's our waterfall. So if we're going behind the waterfall, am I going on this side or am I going back here behind, right? Good job. Okay. And through a grassy meadow. So we're going to go through the grass. Just like on our bear hunts, right? When we return to camp, let's see, let's get camp back going here. We watch the sun slowly drift behind the mountain. So it's gonna go way back here. Until it's all gone. Stars shimmer throughout the night sky. Let's get all our stars out for the night. Great job. While we sit around the campfire, as we climb into our tent, I think about Chipmunk skipping down his hole. Oops, Chipmunk just skipped down the board, didn't he? There we go. Squirrel scampering up a tree. Woodpecker settling into its nest. Duck tucking its bill under its wing. And porcupine snuggling inside its log. And we're in our tent all snuggled up. Alongside each other, we dream our dreams beside the lake and beneath the moon, because if we're beneath the moon, we're under it, right? And beside is next to. Outside in the great outdoors. The end. I hope you guys liked Circle Time today. I can't wait to share more stuff with you tomorrow. don't forget that tomorrow is art day, so we'll do some more fun projects. I'll see you then. Bye.